Okay, so let's look at this question. Now, this question is actually quite a cheap one. So let's just look at it. Hairco manufactures three types of electrical goods for hair. We have the curlers, straightening irons, and dryers. The budgeted sales price and volume for the next year are as follows. So we have the selling price, we have the units. Each product is made using a different mix of the same material and labor. Product S also uses new revolutionary technology for which the company obtained a 10 years patent 2 years ago. The budgeted sales volume for all the products have been calculated by adding 10% to last year's sales. The standard cost card for each product is shown below. What is a standard cost card?
It shows the cost per unit of the cost elements.
Relax. Come again. The cost per unit of what? A product. Are you getting it? For a product. So we have the material, we have skilled labor, we have unskilled labor. Both skilled and unskilled labor are variable. Okay, so we've told. The general fixed overheads are expected to be 640,000 for the next year. Required. A. Calculate the weighted average contribution to sales ratio for hairco. Good. So in this area, when the company is producing 2 or more products, hairco, the weighted average contribution to sales ratio. Now, weighted average contribution to sales ratio is going to be the total sale, the total contribution divided by what? Total sales. Okay? That's the idea. But there are 3 products here. So we have to do for the products individually. Here we are. We add them together. Then we'll come and get what? The weighted average contribution to sales ratio. So look at it. 3 products. What are they? C, S, D. Let's go. Give me the selling price. 110, 160, 120. Less variable cost. What are the variable costs in it? Skilled labor, I guess. 16, 34, 22. Okay. Then unskilled labor. 40, 14. Okay. 20, 28. Selling price minus variable cost. What do we have?
For D, 70.
D, 70.
Or C,
80. 80.
S, 106.
106. This is contribution per unit. Then we bring the outputs. What are their outputs?
20,000.
20,000.
22,000.
22,000.
26,000.
26,000. We're going to multiply. And that will give us the contribution.
Multiply.
Yeah? It's a contribution per unit times the output to give us the total contribution. Anamibwa.
Sure. For D, I'm getting 182. 000 4 zeros.
So 1,820,000. Go for it.
For X, 233, 2,000.
Be like this.
Yeah.
CCC. 1,600,000. Now that is total contribution for each of them. But the examiner didn't say we should calculate contribution to sales ratio for each of them, or say for the company. So what do? We need to get a total contribution by adding the three products together. So total contribution is going to be 1,600,000, 2,332,000 plus 1,820,000. What we've got? Give me an answer.
575 2,000.
575 2,000. Is it confirmed?
Yes.
Okay. Now that we have the total contribution for the three products, we also need to find the sales value. The sales value. Because contribution to sales is the contribution over what? The sales. So let's go. Let's find the sales value. Want to come here? So C, S, D. Give me selling price per unit. I think I already have it on the board. 110, 160, and what? 120. Then let's bring the output. What's the output?
20,000.
20,000.
22,000.
22,000.
26,000.
26,000. We multiply, and that gives us the total revenue for each of the products, or total sales. Mm-hmm.
40.
Yeah.
312.
312
000.
000, like this.
100.
Okay. Biba mucho, mun ponche, na mun confirme mame.
Yes. 352
352
000 40.
The last one is 2200 000.
Be like that. So total sales for the three products, we add them up. 2,220,000, 3,520,000, and then 3,120,000. So let's see what we have. Eight eight four
000.
000.
Another 0.
8,840,000. Now, so we have the total contribution for the three products, the total sales for the three products. We can now calculate the weighted average contribution to sales ratio for the company. So that is what you got to understand. So what do we have? Total contribution 5,752,000 over 8,840,000 times 100. What do we have? That is the I aspect of the question. Weighted average contribution to sales ratio. So here you are not calculating for an individual product, but you are calculating for all the products. He knows he won't work hard. So B, it says we should calculate what? Total break-even sales what? Revenue. So we are calculating break-even points in value there. What's the formula for break-even point in value? Fixed cost
divided by counts per unit.
over counts per unit. Now, what do you say what you're true for? Times selling price. What do you say what you're true for? Aha, counts per unit, who got power? Okay, so whose counts per unit should we use? The total counts per unit. So we can't use this formula. We have to use the second formula, which is fixed cost over what? Contribution to sales ratio. Do you get the idea? Because you already have cost to ratio and you are calculating for the whole company. So you can't do for the first formula. So it is not just about coding the formula, it's about knowing when to use what. Are you getting the idea? So here we're going to use fixed cost over cost to sales ratio. Right, Rainy? What's our fixed cost? From the question. Come on now. 640,000. So 640,000 divided by 65.07%. What do we have? And remember, all answers should be left to 2 decimal places. So when you punch, what do we have? You are getting what? Why are you getting answer that is not familiar with you? So it will be
9835.56.
9835.56.
0.56.
That's what true this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that what you are getting?
No.
You're getting.
What are you getting?
I'm getting
9835.16.17.
And the coins not saying 3556 point what? 17. So report what your own again. So this is how 3556.17. Is that what you are getting? The weather has become cool. Now, this is a short-term decision making that is made in processing companies. Now, we will do process costing later on. It's a topic we will be doing later on, where a product is produced and the product goes through various stages or various processes. Now, there are some products that we call joint products. What are joint products? Joint products are products that are produced from a single production process. So when a product is produced from a single production process, it's called joint products. So when we are refining crude oil, we are going to be getting what? Different things like kerosene, petrol, diesel, bitumen, and all of paraffin wax, those things, all of those components will be obtained. Those products are referred to as what? Joint products. Products produced from a single production process. When the products get to their separate items, we call it the split-off point. So the split-off point is the point in the production process where the products are separated into their identical products or individual products. Now, at the split-off point, the company has two options. One, to sell the product at that split-off point or to further process the product and sell at a premium. So the question we are about to analyze here is, when the products reach the split-off point, should we sell it at the split-off point or we should further process? That is the idea on further processing. Because it is a short-term decision, this is the decision rule. The decision rule is that we're going to compare the incremental cost against the incremental revenue. So, what is incremental cost? The incremental cost is the additional cost to be incurred for further processing. The incremental revenue is the additional revenue to be obtained when we sell after processing. So we compare incremental cost against incremental revenue. When we compare, when IC is greater than IR, you are a business person. If your cost is more than your revenue, what do? You don't further process. So we sell at the split-off point. So when the cost of further processing is higher than the revenue after further processing, we sell at the split-off point. But when the cost is less than the incremental revenue, certainly we further process. So that is the decision rule about further processing. Please note that in the making of this decision, you realize that we are talking about incremental cost. The additional cost to be incurred during the further processing. What it means is that joint cost will not be factored into the making of further processing decision. In other words, the cost we incur in refining the product prior to the split is what? A sunk cost and is irrelevant in the making of further processing decisions. So you got to know that very well. So joint costs are not considered in making further processing decisions. Rather, incremental cost, the additional cost we will incur if we further process. Compare that against the additional revenue you're going to get. This is what you're going to understand about further processing. So let's look at a question quickly.
What about if they are the same?
If they are the same, So we break even. We take into consideration other factors, and we are breaking even. So that's a good question. What do you think we do there? If you're a businessman, and at that stage, when you further process, your incremental cost will be the same as your incremental revenue. Do you further process or you sell at a split off point?
If your client demands it.
Okay, if your clients demand it, then you can what? Produce it, because in the short term you can break even, but in the long term you are going to be making what? Profit. And if you are producing joint products, and that product further processing will help you to sell another product, then even though this is breaking even, you can get the profit from what? The other product that is jointly produced. So yes, we could make that decision taking into consideration other factors.
So another interesting illustration is cocoa processing.
Cocoa processing.
Because in the cocoa processing, you have first stage of production is the cocoa liquor.
Okay.
Now, the cocoa liquor is a combination of the butter and the powder or the liquid form.
Okay.
You can sell that as a premium.
That's it. At a price. So that is a split off point.
Yes.
Okay.
And the machines are designed in such a way that if you want to sell off all the liquor, the machines will allow you to bank all off.
Okay.
But also, if you decide to split off into
The various
butter
components.
and cake or
Okay.
paste, then there's what we call ratios. Ratios that are placed on the butter as against the cake or the paste.
Okay.
And those ratios are multiples above the base price. And these are all world market issues.
Yes. Yes.
So you would have to consider whether you go ahead or
To
you
further process. Yes. So
depending on the demand on the market,
available.
sometimes
And then the issue about the incremental revenue and the incremental cost.
sometimes the consumers, that's the chocolate makers, at a point in time they are demanding more butter. At a point in time they are demanding paste
Okay. Okay.
or the liquid.
Okay.
And
So you.
it all depends on what we call the stockpiling levels.
Okay.
Because sometimes when they demand, the stocks they pile some. So when
So-
they have more stocks,
Then they will buy
demand the other product,
the other product. Okay.
and then
Okay.
the ratios will change.
Okay. Okay. So it means that for the decision to continue to process and separate will be dependent on the demand that is available in the market.
Yes.
And then for us at that case, then because demand influences price, meaning we will have to now analyze the incremental revenue and then the incremental cost, then we further process. Yes, so that is a very direct illustration there for us to get it. Now, so we're going to apply this concept in the two questions we have here. One is lengthy, the other is easy. So let's do the easy one first. I like easy things first. So question one. The poison chemical company, can you imagine, produces two joint products, Alas and Potum, from the same process. Joint processing costs of 150,000 are incurred up to the split off point. What is that? Sunk cost. Into onokra ye shenupo ye further processing decision. Next, when 100,000 units of Alas and 50,000 units of Potum are produced, the selling prices at split off points are 1.25 per unit for Alas and $2 per unit for Potum. The unit of Alas could be processed further to produce 60,000 units of a new chemical, Alas Plus, but at an extra fixed cost of 20,000 and variable cost of 30 cents per unit of input. The selling price of Alas Plus would be 3.5 per unit. Should a company sell Alas or Alas plus. So let's see what we do. So we did. Why kita kadi aji ubah? Kita kadi aji ubah. Then they want to see you. Okay, so let's go. Now, what do we do? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. So the company is producing a product called Alash, but can further produce the product into what we call Alash Plus. When the Alash is produced, we will get 100,000 units. At that stage, we can sell it for $1.25. When it is further processed, we will get Alash Plus of how much? 60,000 units, and can now be sold for 3.25. However, the further processing cost includes fixed cost of how much? $20,000, and a variable cost of how much? 30 cents per unit of input. Be careful here. What is the input here? The 100,000. So 100,000 times 0.3, 30 cents. What do we have? That should be $30,000, isn't it? So total cost of further processing will be what? This plus this. $50,000. Hello? 3,000 rather. Because this is 0.3. It should be 30,000. 30,000. Okay. Now, the question the examiner is asking is, should a company sell Alash or Alash Plus? In other words, should a company further process or not to further process? So what do we do here? What do? We need to get the revenue for Alash and then the Alash Plus. So look at what we're going to do. Let's bring the sales. What is the sales at the Alash level? This times this. 125,000. What is the sales at the Alash Plus level? This times this. $195,000. Then the further processing cost we're going to bring the fixed cost here, 30,000, take it out. Variable cost, 20,000, take it out. So profit after further processing. Now the profit at this stage will still be 125, but this stage will be what? What? 145,000. So, should we sell Alash or Alash Plus? Alash Plus. Why? Because the company will be able to what? Make an additional profit of $20,000. That is the answer to the question. That's the answer to your question. Therefore, what's the name of the company? Poison whatever. Therefore, the company should sell Alash Plus to make additional profit of $20,000. Limited operates a joint processing from which 4 products arise. The product may be sold at separation points of the process or can be refined further and be sold at a premium. Information regarding the product and the refining process can be found below. So we have the product EFGH. Selling price at the split-off point has been given. The further processing price has been given. Cost. We've been given the joint processing cost. Is that important to us? No. So that joint processing cost will be out. Next, refinery cost. Do you think it's important? Refining cost. Yes, we will consider that. Specific fixed cost. We will look at that. The general fixed cost and then budgeted units. The question is, which products should be further processed? So let's go. So Highway Limited. Is that something is? Oh. What the hell? Okay, so let's go. Products. E F G H dollars. Now look at this analysis carefully and look at how we're going to answer the question. The first thing we bring is the incremental revenue. What is the incremental revenue? What is the incremental revenue? The difference between the split-off point and then what? The further processing price. I hope you know that. So, E will be what? 8. Can you see that? The difference between these guys. Like the difference. The further processing and the split-off price will give us the incremental revenue. F will be what? 2316. 7. J. H. 4. Okay. So that's the incremental revenue. Then we need to bring the refinery cost or refining cost. So what's our refining cost? The refining cost is like the variable cost per unit. So refining cost, how much? 5 for everybody. So let's go. What do we have? 3, 2, 5, negative what? 1. Be careful here. This is where I want you to stay with me. H is giving us negative, meaning the refinery cost cannot cover up what? The incremental revenue. So we say that for H, we will sell it at the split-off point. Sounds good? So H work has ended because the variable cost of further processing is more than the incremental revenue. Then we continue with the rest. So this will be incremental contribution per unit. Then we bring the budgeted output. What's the budgeted unit? Budgeted units. 2,000, 500, 5,000. Oh, wow. Yes. So let's multiply. And that gives us total incremental contribution. So what do we have? What do we have? We are multiplying though. 2, 3, 6,000. follow me closely. We get a contribution, incremental contribution per unit, and H is negative, so we sell it off at the split-off point. Then from the question, we are given specific fixed cost, meaning this is the fixed cost we will incur if we further process the product. So we're going to less the specific fixed cost. Specific fixed cost. How much is the specific fixed cost? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So let's go. When we less the specific fixed cost, we will get our profits. So what will be here? 5,000. What will be here? Negative 1,000 and then 22,000. Are you following? Now, share the AC Wahanso. F is having negative. After taking into consideration the specific fixed cost from the incremental contribution, meaning F cannot be further processed because the specific fixed cost cannot cover what? Its contribution. So F will also be sold at the split-off point. So we sell it at the split-off point. Then we get a subtotal. So what is the subtotal? This and this. What will we get? This and this. 27,000. Then we will less the general fixed cost from it, which is 20,000. Which is 20,000. Then we will now get the incremental profit. Of how much? 7,000. So at the end of the day, which product are we further processing? E and J. That is what you have to understand about further processing. So if it was in the exam hall, the same presentation would have been done, and you write the things inside, just like that. And then you get your incremental profits. Any questions? That's all about further processing.